Intimate partner violence, IP, is a major social issue linked to post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and depression, which can lead to impairment in a range of areas. According to previous study, African American women are subjected to more frequent and severe IPVs than white women, although they report fewer PTSD symptoms as a result of the abuse. Before we start the video, please subscribe my YouTube channel so that you can be updated by my new videos. One theory for this association is that African American women are more robust as a result of internal coping mechanisms like empowerment. However, this theory has yet to be scientifically proven. In a sample of African American and white abused women, the current study analyses the role of empowerment in reducing IPV-related psychological suffering. Personal empowerment, as predicted, buffered the connections between race and PTSD and race and depression, indicating that empowered African American women may be more resilient in the face of IPV. The implications of the findings are examined in terms of establishing culturally appropriate empowerment-based treatments for abused women. In general, African American women are seen as being disproportionately harmed as a result of racism, sexism, and poverty. Despite their marginalization, African American women have long been seen as unusually robust in the face of such pressures, because to a shared sense of identity, a distinct pattern of coping techniques, and higher social knowledge. The resulting culturally idealized stereotype of the strong Black woman has come to describe an individual capable of enduring struggle while also carrying a significant amount of caretaking responsibility, and has been posited as having both positive and negative connotations. Internalization of the urge to display strength has been utilized to explain African American women's probable self-silencing of emotional discomfort, as well as their willingness to forgive abusive partners and stay in violent relationships. Furthermore, these cultural stereotypes have been utilized to normalize and excuse domestic violence, as well as to impact perceptions about the necessity and efficacy of seeking aid behaviors and treatments. African American women, on the other hand, have identified the urge to display strength as a motivator for improving goal-oriented conduct, independence, and moral integrity. As a result, the strong Black woman stereotype may work as a protective factor against IPV-related suffering, implying that empowering African American abused women may be an adaptive strategy for boosting resilience. IPV is more common and severe in low-income African American women, according to research, although these women have fewer PTSD symptoms as a result of their abuse and advocate higher levels of empowerment than their white counterparts. These seemingly conflicting findings imply that understanding African American resilience variables, particularly the role of empowerment, may be vital for devising treatments for victims of domestic abuse targeted at reducing psychological distress. Several research have looked at the impact of coping factors in the link between severe stresses and psychological discomfort in African American women, including seeking support and spiritual well-being. Few studies, on the other hand, have looked at how African American women create meaning from their inner resources in order to cope with violent events and gain empowerment. Worrell and Rimmer, 2003, established the empowerment model, which highlights four main concepts that are crucial for building treatments for battered women by integrating these individual, contextual, and intercultural variables within a feminist framework. These are the four principles. A. Personal and social identities are interdependent. B. The personal is political. C. Relationships are egalitarian. And D. Women's perspectives are valued. The paradigm emphasizes the link between women's personal and cultural identities, as well as how they are rooted in a larger social framework. Furthermore, the strengths-based approach emphasizes the importance of emotional expression, as well as the development of supportive connections with other women. Johnson, Worrell, and Chandler, 2005, created an operational definition of empowerment based on this theoretical model, allowing women to access skills and resources to cope more effectively with present and future stress and trauma. They also created and put to the test an assessment tool called the Personal Progress Scale Revised, PPSR. Johnson and colleagues' study is an essential first step toward resolving issues raised by Castro and others on how to appropriately define and quantify empowerment for battered women while taking culture differences into account. However, due to sample constraints, the impact of culture and minority status on women's empowerment and abuse experiences could not be studied. The current study seeks to fill this vacuum in the literature by looking at how empowerment disparities between African American and white abused women impact psychological suffering caused by intimate partner violence. Furthermore, by including a theoretically based definition and assessment of personal empowerment that takes into account individual, contextual, and intercultural variables among abused women, the current study overcomes the difficulties raised above. The PPSR, Johnson, Worrell, and Chandler, 2005, Worrell and Chandler, 1998, is a 28-item paper and pencil assessment of women's personal empowerment. The PPSR is based on the empowerment model Worrell and Rimmer, 2003, which comprises the 4 concepts mentioned above. Preliminary findings suggest that the PPSR assesses 7 domains, including 1. Perceptions of power and competence, 8 items, e.g., I am aware of my own strengths as a woman. 2. Self-nurturance and resource access, 3 items, e.g., I can speak up for my own needs in a relationship. 3. Interpersonal assertiveness, 5 items, e.g., I feel comfortable confronting important others when we see things differently. 4. Cultural discrimination awareness, 3 items, e.g., I now understand how my cultural heritage has shaped who I am today. 5. Expression of anger and confrontation, 3 items. For example, it is difficult for me to tell others when I am angry, reverse scored. 6. Autonomy, 3 items. For example, it is important to me to be financially independent. And 7. Personal strength and social activism, 3 items. For example, I want to help other women like me improve the quality of their lives. Responses were given on a 7-point Likert scale, ranging from 1, nearly never, to 7. In a sample of abused and non-abused women, the scale's researchers reported good reliability as well as outstanding convergent and discriminant validity. In the current sample, the PPSR also showed high internal consistency. I hope you find this video helpful. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe as it really helps our channel, and remember to give your feedback in the comments below. See you in the next video with some more interesting topics and facts.